Hello everyone, welcome to Simproved, Speaking here, and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. Today we are going to build this awesome and amazing looking modern tropical house. It's kind of like a huge mansion, modern mansion with two pools and lots of room for everybody. And it's also for a collab with my awesome friend ThomasTV, who will furnish this bad boy. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. So I started on the 64 by 64 lot in Windenburg, I think. So it's also on a very big lot, the biggest lot that we have in The Sims 4. And I thought it would be cool to have a modern house again, because I kinda didn't do that so often, and I was kind of feeling to build something new and modern again. And then I kind of came up with the idea that with Jungle Adventures we had the idea to have nice residential lots in the jungle as well. So I thought, hey, why not go modern? Why not go for something very sleek and minimal and then just do crazy jungle plants all around it? So it has kind of like a very fairy tale-ish, but like not very realistic, I would say, feel to it. But still, if you delete all the plants all around, it has definitely a really cool layout and it looks really interesting. This house that I'm building here is actually nothing that I found online, so there's like no real reference in real life. I especially think that's because you can't have trees on your roof in real life, at least not the palm trees that I chose here. But still, I thought it would be cool since it's possible in The Sims 4, and yeah, physics and reality of building is nothing that has to do with Sims building. I thought we just go for it and go with a still architectural idea behind it, but also go a little bit more into production design, something a little bit more unrealistic and interesting looking. So yeah, here you can already see me that I built a small tiny little hill, and there's a huge, I would say, like plate where the whole house is on, because I wanted it to look as if it's like on something like a stilts or something, but in a modern way. So it's actually kind of floating, but you can't see this because it's like such a huge ground plate that I chose here. And I thought it would look really cool, especially maybe if you put this on even a larger cliff or something. That's something that I wanted to do first, but then I thought it would be really tricky with the pools, and it would also be tricky with the foundation, so I didn't want to overdo it, and I didn't want to spend 3 hours again undoing the whole terrain thing, because it's kind of still a tricky thing for me to do, and I still wanted it to look a little bit more to the realistic side. And let's just face it, if that would be like on a huge cliff, it would have looked quite interesting, but still very unrealistic, and we are going with half realistic here. I think it took me about 5 hours to build, but that had also to do with the amount that I couldn't, you know, as detail it as maybe a classical building would look like. So there aren't as many columns and as many decorations around the windows and all that stuff for the exterior. And therefore modern minimalistic, it's not that minimalistic, but like modern houses like these tend to not take as much time as other buildings, for example. So that's also cool. And since ThomasTV, my good friend Turbo Thomas, how I always call him, he will furnish this. This is for a collab with us both. He's amazing at furnishing houses, and he asked me to do a collab again. We already did one. I think it was like a Spanish villa mansion. I think it was last year, and since this was like 1 year ago, we thought, hey, why not do this again? It was awesome, and he did an amazing job. He already sent me some screenshots, so stay tuned till the end of the video. I will link to his video and his channel, of course, in the description down below, and we will watch it together then, of course, as well. So it's going to be absolutely amazing. Yeah, here you can already see that I had like the final layout. I wanted to play around with these overhanging, let's just call them plates, because I'm not really sure how to explain them properly. To play with these because they are overhanging on the little hill, and then I wanted also to have some, you know, small roof plates over all these terraces that are all around the house, and I wanted to have an atrium in the middle. So I was kind of inspired by one of the builds from Aubrey that he did in one of his streams, and I thought an atrium is actually pretty cool, especially for such a big house, because usually these big houses in The Sims 4 tend to be huge open rooms, and then at the end you have like kind of a problem, first of all with lighting, and then the problem with what do I even fill in these huge halls. So there's going to be a huge I would call it layouting problem later on. I think that makes it a little bit harder to furnish, it makes it harder to look good. So if you have these problems in The Sims 4 by building huge boxes, why not try having a little courtyard or an atrium or something like that in the middle and go from there, because you can use it as a kind of like a community garden. I will put a little pool in there, and also I will use it kind of like a hallway, so you can easily switch from one, I don't know, like one west wing to the east wing or something, because we have kind of like a huge problem in The Sims 4 that the Sims tend to walk a lot in huge houses, and it takes a lot of gameplay time. So sometimes like your Sims will piss themselves because they can't reach the toilet in time and all that stuff. This always quite annoys me, and I thought, hey, we can kind of fix this by having this courtyard atrium in the middle. So that would be like one of my yeah, kind of like a tip for building a huge house, that the rooms don't actually have to be that big in The Sims 4, you know, because we have kind of like a different scale. I think everybody who tried to build their own house in The Sims 4 already knows that the scale is not like as direct or like as transferable from real life into The Sims 4. So you kind of have to adapt to how the Sims walk, how long they take from point A to point B. It's kind of like a, yeah, I think it's experience in building, but also kind of like testing. So I also think that sometimes the best houses, if somebody is not good at building, usually they do really, really good builds if they just have like one small house and then try to add on that house through gameplay later on. These usually have a better layouting than anything that you would build right from the start. So yeah, here you can see already all these little balcony terrace overhangs that I wanted to have, and also I will put lots and lots of plants all around on the green space there. And also I made some holes in some of the earth level plates so that the palm trees can grow through these holes. I thought that would like a really cool idea. I think it would have been a better effect if the whole the whole house would be like on a cliff or something, so it has like this plateau vibe and is kind of more lifted from the ground. But since I wanted to make it look a little bit more flatter, a little bit more condensed and horizontal looking, I'm actually pretty happy how this turned out at the end. I only use two types of windows, which are the get to work windows with the bars on, and the usual white huge base game windows. I still want frameless windows, like this would be cool without any borders, because then we could make like huge glass fronts, which would be really cool. That's something I'm really looking forward to. And also, since sometimes I think the glass roofs are really cool for also adding some more light into some rooms, and they make really beautiful shadow shapes. I don't know how to explain them. On the floor, I also put like some glass roofs on the second and the first level, which will look really cool. I thought that you could have like a sunroom right next to the pool, so there's like a huge kind of hallway thing, but I thought maybe this could be where they sun themselves, even because it's like a jungle kind of build. There will be rain, so they can be in the sun but still like be protected from the rain. That was like one of the ideas. Here you can see me putting in the palm trees, which was one of my first ideas that I had for this build, and I thought it would look really, really cool. It's something that I always wanted to experiment with these cutouts in floating kind of plates. And yeah, it looks really, really cool. There are of course some stairs leading up to the entry hallway thing, entrance door. Yeah, I think that's what you call them. Sorry, my architectural jargon is not the best. I think you can understand since I'm German and I still have actually, since doing this for so long already, have no idea how to call this stuff. But yeah, here you can see me putting all the plants in, which was also like an idea, because I thought, oh, that would be so cool if I would have like a modern house. What I actually always dislike when I see, you know, like Instagram pictures or look at all these best modern houses, documentaries and all that kind of stuff where they show around cool houses, that modern houses usually have these stone gardens and like a Zen garden. It's not very green and lush. That was something that I personally thought is kind of ridiculous. Why not? I would love to have lots and lots of plants all around me. I don't have a green thumb, but since in The Sims 4 you don't have to garden and tend to these build mode, let's call them build mode plants. You don't have to water them, they're just there, and they also float really nicely in the wind, so they're beautifully animated. I thought it would be really, really cool to just add them everywhere, because I thought it would be so cool. And since your Sims can have like a 360-degree view, because every side of this house has huge windows, can see outside and directly has some green in front, or you know, like framing the windows and stuff. I thought that would be so, so beautiful. And here I do the atrium with another pool in there. I first wanted to put in a fountain, but fountains are only placeable on earth ground or on foundation in The Sims 4. Why? I have no idea. But since this is considered a ceilingless room, basically, you can put a fountain in the atrium here, which kind of bothered me. But then again, it's also cool for gameplay, because now your Sims can also just jump right into the atrium. I can also see this being like putting in maybe an elaborate kind of fountain pool build, but I wanted to go with the minimalist kind of thing with lots of plants all around, and I chose some of these stone plates as well, so I have like a symmetrical shape there as well. Makes it looks a little bit more interesting. And you can also see that I placed lots and lots of these jungle flowers all around, like these bushes. Usually in landscaping I tend to use maybe up from 4 to 5 different flowers, and that's it, or bushes. And this is what I do here as well. I think it's a little bit more this time, because the color theme of the jungle plants are all quite the same, so I could use a little bit more of them. But still, if you're not into this overgrown, it's, I think, easy to just delete them all, because the deletion tool in The Sims 4 in the build mode is quite cool and really easy to handle. So if you want to have these really bare, minimalistic stone sorry to say that, stone garden houses, there you go, you can have them as well. It's really easy to expand on that here as well. And here you can see me doing the, what's it called, like maybe the carport. I wanted to have like a little carport. We still don't have functioning cars in The Sims 4, but I still like to upsize, of course, some of the toy cars and make them pretend to be cars. I really hope that someday we get cars, because I know that so many people would love to have real functioning cars in The Sims 4. I personally, as a builder, of course, don't see them as necessary, because I don't do gameplay and would never, or almost never, see The Sims using their car, but maybe some more toy cars, or at least cars for decoration purposes, would be cool. So it kind of makes also sense to maybe put in some garages, because garages, I'm not sure, would be really cool. I thought that would be something you could really add to The Sims 4 maybe someday. But yeah, here we are already in the video tour, a nice helicopter panning shot for you guys. So we went with a brown wooden theme, so it looks a little bit more tropical and maybe eco-friendly. There's the large pool area, which looks absolutely gorgeous, and ThomasTV will also furnish this absolutely amazingly, so your Sims can have the best huge modern mansion they can imagine, I think. And yeah, I really love how overgrown it is, and with these small little glass roofs that I put in there, and also these wooden panels that you can see there, which are, I think, from the Dine Out pack, but don't take my word for it. But I love them. I sized them up and used them here as kind of like structural elements as well, which look absolutely amazing. So yeah, this is the whole build, guys. I really, really hope that you like it. Please like the video if you like it, so I know I have to do more videos and more builds like these. And maybe subscribe if you like my content and if you are into Sims 4 builds. I will link to Thomas' furnishing decorational video here now down in the video description, so you can go and check it out. And yeah, that's basically it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.